Today's cars are spoiled. Heated seats, mood lighting, giant screens, it's all normal now. But it didn't start that way. In fact, cars used to be cold, loud, and brutally simple. So how did we go from sweaty vinyl seats to massaging leather thrones? The answer is way more surprising than you think. In the early 1960s, cars in Australia were built for one thing, getting you from place to place. They didn't care much about comfort. Inside, everything was basic. You got a big vinyl bench seat up front that could fit 3 people across. No fancy curves or soft cushions, just a flat seat that felt like a sticky couch on a summer day. Gear shifters were stuck on the steering column, leaving the floor nice and empty. Most cars didn't even come with a radio or heater unless you paid extra. Air conditioning? Not even on the radar. The dashboards were made of metal, usually painted or dressed up with a bit of chrome. And the gauges told you just the basics: speed, fuel, maybe engine temperature. Safety was barely an idea. Seat belts weren't common, and dashboards were hard enough to knock you out cold. But somehow, there was a charm to it all. Everything was simple, rugged, and straight to the point. Then came the 1970s. Cars started to grow up a little. People wanted more than just a tough ride, they wanted something nicer to sit in. Slowly, bench seats began to disappear. Drivers got their own bucket seats. And for the first time, some cars had a center console in the middle. It felt more modern. Rubber mats were swapped out for carpet. Dashboards looked better, with fake wood, chrome trim, and more controls. FM radios and cassette players made road trips feel shorter. Air conditioning started showing up more often, especially in higher-end models. Now you didn't have to bake in the summer heat. And safety finally got serious. Seat belts became standard, dashboards were padded, and knobs were placed where you could actually reach them. Cars also got quieter and more comfortable. Imports from Japan and Europe pushed the local brands to step up. Suddenly, power windows, soft seats, and rear seat armrests weren't just for luxury cars anymore. The cabin was starting to feel like a place you could actually enjoy. The 1980s didn't just take that progress, they slammed the pedal down. Suddenly, interiors became futuristic. Some cars had glowing green digital dashboards, showing your speed in bright numbers. Trip computers popped up. You could see how far you'd gone, how hot it was outside, or how much fuel you were using. The dashboards wrapped around the driver like a cockpit, and switches were everywhere, controlling air, lights, radio, and more. Power windows and central locking stopped being fancy, they became normal. Air conditioning was now expected. Radios sounded better too, with cassette players and multiple speakers. Toward the end of the decade, some cars even had CD players, cutting-edge stuff at the time. The seats changed again. Bench seats were long gone. Bucket seats with velour cloth became common. And even mid-range cars had tilt steering and lumbar support. Color schemes got calmer too. Grays and charcoals replaced the wild reds and greens of earlier years. And if you bought something high-end, you might get cruise control. Interiors were no longer just about driving, they were about comfort, control, and cool tech. By the early 1990s, the inside of a car didn't just need to work, it had to feel good. People expected more comfort. They wanted more safety. And car makers responded. One of the biggest changes you could see and feel was the arrival of airbags. First, it was just the driver. Then the passenger got one. That meant steering wheels had to grow to fit the airbag, and dashboards started to curve and bulge in new ways. Interiors felt more padded, more solid, more secure. Seatbelts tightened automatically. Controls got friendlier. Everything was starting to revolve around the human inside the car. At the same time, climate control became standard. You didn't have to fiddle with knobs anymore, just pick your temperature, and the car would do the rest. Some even let the driver and passenger choose their own temperatures. This wasn't just convenience, it felt like luxury. And it wasn't only found in top-end cars anymore. Music changed, too. Cassettes were slowly fading out. CDs took over. By the middle of the decade, most cars had CD players, and higher models had multi-disc stackers you could control from the front seat. Speakers got better. Sound systems started surrounding you. Around this time, cup holders appeared, first as gimmicks, then as essentials. It sounds small, but it changed things. It showed that the car was becoming part of daily life. People were commuting, driving longer, eating in the car, living in it. So glove boxes got bigger. Ergonomics became a big deal. Steering wheels tilted. Seats adjusted more ways. Lumbar support became standard in many models. Controls were laid out so you didn't have to reach or look too far. The dashboard began to wrap around you, slightly angled toward the driver. It made the cabin feel like a cockpit, not just a seat in a box. Then came the 2000s. This was the decade cars got digital, and everything changed again. It started small. Some cars had screens built into the dashboard. At first, they showed simple things, radio stations, fuel range, trip meters. But then, navigation arrived. By the mid-2000s, many family cars offered a color screen in the center console that showed maps, audio settings, or even climate controls. Holden had its IQ system. Ford had the ICC. Luxury brands like BMW and Mercedes were already there with iDrive and Command. At first, it felt complicated, but it was the future. Bluetooth showed up too. Suddenly, you could pair your phone, take calls through the speakers, and keep your hands on the wheel. Auxiliary cords appeared so you could plug in your MP3 player or iPod. These small things made the cabin feel connected for the first time. Your car was syncing with your life. The instrument cluster didn't fully go digital yet, but it evolved. Cars added small displays between the gauges that showed temperature, directions, or warnings. You could feel that the old analog world was fading. Comfort, meanwhile, went to the next level. Power seats became common. So did lumbar support. Push-button start showed up in more cars. Keyless entry let you walk up, open the door, and start the car without taking the fob out of your pocket. Tri-zone climate control appeared in SUVs, giving rear passengers their own settings. Even the seats got smarter, some had memory settings, heating, and in a few high-end models, ventilation or massage. And yes, leather seats were now everywhere. In the 2000s, Australian cars, much like their global counterparts, underwent a significant shift as interior quality, comfort, and upgrade options became key selling points. Buyers began expecting more than just reliability. They wanted refinement, personalization, and advanced features inside the cabin. Manufacturers responded with higher-grade materials, sleeker dashboard designs, and a wider range of trim levels offering everything from leather upholstery to wood grain accents. Audio systems also saw a major upgrade during this decade, and premium brand sound systems becoming common. Steering wheel-mounted controls, integrated head units, and early touchscreen displays started to appear, laying the groundwork for the fully integrated infotainment systems of the following decade. Interiors got quieter too. Better insulation meant less road noise. Soft-touch dashboards became standard on decent trims. Color stayed simple, black, gray, beige, but designers added brushed metal, glossy black, or faux wood to keep things stylish. Backseat entertainment made an entrance. DVD screens dropped down for the kids, especially in bigger cars. Long trips got quieter. Families were happy. But it was the 2010s when the interior really changed for good. Touchscreens took over the dashboard. Big, colorful, responsive screens were everywhere. At first, they just controlled music and navigation. Soon, they took over climate settings, phone calls, and even seat controls. Fewer buttons, more swipe and tap. Some drivers missed the knobs, but most loved the clean look and smart layout. Then came Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Plug in your phone and your screen turned into a mirror of your apps. Maps, music, messages, all there, all familiar. Suddenly, even a small hatchback felt high-tech. And the screens didn't stop there. The gauges behind the wheel started going digital too. Speed, fuel, directions, everything displayed in cool animated layouts. You could even choose how it looked. What started in luxury cars quickly made its way into everyday models. Comfort also got a huge upgrade. Heated seats, ventilated seats, even massage seats appeared, not just in top-end sedans, but in regular family cars. and materials looked and felt better. Soft touch panels, stitched trim, padded armrests, little touches that made the car feel like a living room on wheels. Ambient lighting became a thing too. At night, your cup holders and door panels glowed in whatever color you liked. Some cars even let you choose the mood: red for sporty, blue for calm, purple just because. The car had become a personal space. Safety tech came into the picture loud and clear. Lane warnings, blind spot lights, forward collision alerts, all now part of the dashboard. Steering wheels got smarter, sprouting buttons for everything from cruise control to voice commands. It wasn't just a wheel anymore, it was a control center. SUVs started dominating, and their interiors followed suit. Big screens, third-row seating, USB ports for everyone, and rear-seat entertainment kept families happy on long drives. Tri-zone air con, fold-flat seats, power everything. And that blend of practicality and tech made people fall in love with their cars again. Made-to-measure car interiors have become a defining feature of modern vehicle customization, allowing buyers to tailor every detail to their personal style. Luxury brands like Rolls-Royce and Aston Martin lead the way with bespoke programs that offer endless choices in materials, colors, and finishes, transforming interiors into personalized works of art. Specialist firms such as Carlex Design and LeatherZeats.com also offer custom leather and upholstery options, bringing premium, handcrafted interiors to a wider market. As consumer demand for individuality grows, made-to-measure interiors are redefining the driving experience, blending craftsmanship with personal expression. From bare-bones vinyl cabins to high-tech, comfort-packed spaces, car interiors have come a long way. What started as simple and practical is now smart, stylish, and deeply personal, turning every drive into something more than just a trip. We are new and growing, so be great if you could share this and hit the like and subscribe button.